So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. Guys, according to reports, guys, smash the like button on this video. Make sure you smash the like button on this video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Guys, according to reports, Conor Benn v. Chris Eubank Jr. is off. It's off. It's not happening. So Michael Benson tweeted about 36 minutes ago. They extended the press they changed the press conference time from 1 to 4, and this was probably due to the fact that they were trying to resolve this issue, and probably it was going through a legal issue. And I think Eddie Hearn came out an hour or two ago, and he tweeted that if this fight is not sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, I'm not gonna do this fight. And that for me was a sign where Eddie Hearn was backtracking. Basically, Eddie Hearn yesterday was saying everything in terms of that he wanted this fight to happen. He wanted this fight to push through. I think today that tweet was basically seeing the backlash, understanding that the public don't want to see this happening because a guy's failed a drugs test. And if I go ahead with this fight, my company and my reputation, my brand is going to be ruined. And Eddie Hearn, one thing about Eddie Hearn is, look, we all know that every promoter is all about the money. They want to make the money. The fighter safety and all of that at times can be a load of rubbish. But in my opinion, I feel, honest opinion, that I think Eddie Hearn has realized that if he tries to push through with this, with another sanctioning body like the Luxembourg, his reputation, his brand will be affected. And he knew that like, one thing about the Hearns, they've built a family business into a big brand, and they don't like that brand being, they don't like people questioning the integrity of their business. And this would have definitely brought that into question. I mean, you know, or guys failed a test and you're still wanting to push the fight. I actually thought his comments yesterday were kind of crazy. I felt the way he was trying to force the fight through, rather than saying, look, we need to see we need to see what's going on, and then we'll make a decision according, you know, the governing bodies or whatever will make a decision. He was kind of trying to force it through, and he was being quite forceful. He was actually putting pressure on the British Boxing Board of Control. But I think he realized today that the public weren't having it. And if you go ahead with a fight like that, your reputation is ruined. Like, promoters don't have a great reputation because they're seen as guys that are all about the money. You know, we've seen what happened with, you know, and let's not forget, Eddie, like, promoters are all about using fighters and making money as well. So this wouldn't have been a good look. So I actually think this is probably the right thing. And I think that tweet that Eddie Hearn put out was probably a tweet of resignation, saying, look, if basically a way to backtrack and say, you know what, if this fight isn't sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, which he knew it wasn't going to be, I'm not doing this fight. So I think it was a resignation from Eddie Hearn saying that, look, this fight, if this not sanctioned, I'm not doing it. So I think that was a sign that the fight wasn't going to happen. I had a feeling that the fight wouldn't happen. I think there was too much public pressure. And like I said, the Hearns have got too much, I think they have too much integrity when it comes. Because at the end of the day, he could have probably gone through with the fight. But this is about reputation. This is about his business's brand on the line here. This is about his business, a family business, which they built from scratch, integrity being questioned. So, you know, they just wouldn't go ahead with this fight. I knew it. I knew Eddie Hearn would not go ahead with it eventually when he realizes the public pressure and what people are going to say and etc. Because at the end of the day, you know, he's a promoter and he has a business. If he puts fights like that ahead, people are going to lose respect. People are also going to not look at him as credible. I mean, they're going to look at his shows. Maybe the shows are fixed and, stuff like that start to bring in, which Eddie Hearn's not. Eddie Hearn's a good promoter. He's a very good promoter. And I do think he has more sympathy. He's about the money, but he has more sympathy than some other promoters. Like some other promoters were trying to poo-poo on him because of this situation. But if they were in the same situation, they would be doing exactly the same thing. Because promoters are all about making money. But when a fellow promoter, a situation like this occurs, they're quickly to criticize. But yeah, if they are in the same situation, they probably would do exactly the same thing. So, for me, fair play. At least they've called it off. I think there was a lot of pressure, a lot of public pressure. And I think probably the right decision has been made. But it's sad because it was a big fight that I was looking forward to, and unfortunately it's another big fight that goes down the wayside. I don't know what's going to happen with this fight. It's probably going to have to be rescheduled now. Conor Benn might have to face some repercussions as well. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. And now, what's gonna happen with all of this? It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I feel for Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank obviously was trying to make weight. And one thing we know, he was coming down to 157, and all that hard work of trying to make weight, he's no longer going to get paid as well. So that's 3-4 million quid that he's going to be light off as a result of something that has nothing to do with him, or it's no fault of his own, which I feel sorry for him. And don't get me wrong, feeling sorry for someone that's already rich. However, he's still put in the work. He's still put in, a hard training camp trying to make weight. And he's not going to get rewarded for that financially. Also, I'm pretty sure he's had people around him in training camp that he's paid, sparring partners, etc. So it's costing money. Like I said, he's a millionaire, so it's not like it's going to affect him as it would do someone else who's not as well off. But nonetheless, he's still putting the effort and he's still putting the hard work, and he's not going to be rewarded for that. But I think in the end, I think the sport of boxing has won, because imagine if something had happened to Chris Eubank, something bad, and Conor Benn, they allowed Conor Benn, who was failed a drugs test, to go in there and fight him. I mean, I think it would be scandalous. I mean, I just don't think I just don't think the fight was possible. I think it would have been an absolute disaster for them to put this fight ahead. So I think that the right decision has been made. It's disappointing for fight fans, but nonetheless, I think the right decision for boxing has been made, for the integrity of the sport. I just think there wasn't too much public pressure. I think there was too much criticism from the media as well. I just don't think if they had gone through with this, I don't think they would have been able to live it down. The fighters, the promoters involved, I think it would have been too much. And I think the right call has been made. And most importantly, both fighters, Chris Eubank can move on. Maybe he can get look, he's prepared, he's already ready to fight. Maybe they can get in a look, he's probably not going to fight, but maybe he can go and fight for a world title now. And actually, this might result in Chris Eubank saying, okay, forget Conor Benn. I do think this fight's going to be rescheduled and happen again, because I think there's too much money involved. There's too much money involved for it not to happen again. So I can see this fight happening down the road. But what it may mean is this fight might not necessarily happen next, because Chris Eubank might say, you know what, let me go and fight for a world title. Let me go and fight Demetrius Boo-Boo. Andrade's no longer world champion. But let me go and fight Charlo. Let me go and fight Janabek. Let me go and fight Triple G. That's a fight which maybe Triple G might be interested in, because Triple G still wants to fight. Or maybe Triple G knows that a fight with Chris Eubank here in the UK would be a sellout and be a massive fight. So maybe that would be something that interests Gennady Golovkin. So that might open up a whole heap of options for Chris Eubank. I do feel sorry for him, because look, these guys put in a lot of effort making weight. It's not easy, it's tough. and it's no fault of his own that the fight's off. But yeah, look, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know your opinion. I'm pretty sure some of you might be disappointed, but I think the right decision has been made for the sport of boxing. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.